Last time, we had arrived in Cleveland, Ohio, and we docked at North Coast Harbor Marina. We stayed there for a day, toured the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and sampled a couple of restaurants that we were able to walk to. On Wednesday, June 30th, we cast off and headed back out onto Lake Erie, headed for Vermillion, Ohio. Waves were 1 to 1.5 feet, so we had a nice enough ride. About 2/3 of the way there, we started getting rain showers, but no storms developed. Rain continued most of the afternoon. We arrived in Vermillion at about 4 p.m. and tied up at the municipal docks. Sharon cooked dinner on the boat, and we discussed how to schedule the coming days. We have one decent travel day tomorrow before the winds kick back up for a few days. We decided to stay put in Vermillion till Saturday, June 3rd, when we would make the fairly short hop to Sandusky, Ohio. Thursday, July 1st, and we awake to a reminder that we were actually docked on a river. All of yesterday's rain was flooding down the river and into the lake. All sorts of wood debris was floating by and bumping against the boat. Around midday, we called for a ride to the grocery store with a local Lyft driver. After loading up on supplies, we called for another ride back to the boat. Groceries were stashed away, and we took showers before heading out to dinner at a nearby Czech restaurant. On Friday, July 2nd, we each did a couple of boat projects and I cooked dinner on the boat. Wind was still blowing pretty hard from the north, but things were supposed to ease up that evening. Following morning, conditions were totally different. The winds had calmed, the lake looked inviting, so after some breakfast, we left Vermillion. We still had to be cautious getting out of there, as there was still a lot of flood debris floating in the river, including some large logs. When we got out to the lake itself, it wasn't as calm as we hoped. There were still some large rolling waves that hit us squarely on the beam and kept us rolling all the way to Sandusky. Oh well, the furniture needed to be rearranged anyway. At Battery Park Marina, we had a couple of free hot dogs and listened to live music. The next day, we did laundry and visited a nearby maritime museum. That evening, we watched from our aft deck as Cedar Point Amusement Park shot off fireworks across the bay. We decided to add some island hopping to our Lake Erie experience, so on July 5th, we made the short run to Kelly's Island. Anyone familiar with the area will tell you that most people go to South Bass Island and an area called Put-in Bay. As we got closer to this end of the lake, we heard more and more bad stuff about Put-in Bay. The drinking and partying was getting out of hand, and boating safety was becoming a real problem. With our hard partying days long behind us, we opted to visit two of the supposedly tamer islands. At Kelly's Island, we rented a golf cart and took a ride around the island. Since it was a hot day, we made sure to stay hydrated along the way. We also took in a couple of geological and historical sites along the way. On July 6th, we moved to Middle Bass Island, about 10 miles away. The marina was part of the Ohio State Park system. There wasn't much to do there, but it was a very nice place to stop. After this, we had about a 30-mile trip across the western end of Lake Erie to Monroe, Michigan. The marina we stopped at in Monroe, Michigan wasn't the best we've stayed at, but it would suffice for an overnight stop. Turns out, we got docked just in time for a thunderstorm. And here is where we leave you for now. If the weather cooperates, we leave here tomorrow, headed for Detroit. See you next time.